take care to the cleaners.
Sure.
And the civil society organization and religious organization.
Exactly.
Especially the Peace Council chair.
Exactly.
For the first time, I will endorse the sorting.
So you had portions of an audio recording that has gone viral, alleged to be the voice of NDC chairperson Samuel Ofosu Ampofo. Attempts to get Mr. Ofosu Ampofo to respond have been futile. But the party's director of communications, Sami Gyamfi, insists it's doctored and aimed at diverting attention. He spoke on the Super Morning Show.
I think that first of all it's important to put on record that the tape which is being circulated in the media is a doctored tape. It is totally fake, and we will entreat the people of this country to treat it with the content it deserves. It has all the trappings of a diversionary tactic, and it is obvious that it is a desperate attempt by this government to divert attention from the latest expose by investigative journalist Anazarin Yawanas, which has uncovered some appointees of this government as engaging in illegal mining, popularly known as Galamsey, and which has also uncovered other corrupt activities of officials of government involved in the so-called fight against Galamsey, extorting monies, collecting bribes, and engaging in very despicable corrupt acts. And that is why we are not surprised that our friends from the NPP and elements in this government will introduce this red herring, totally doctored fake tape on a day that video is billed to be premiered.
So you heard that the Director of Communications for the NDC, Sami Gyamfi, insisting that the tape we heard a while ago, alleged to be the NDC chairman, Samuel Ofosu Ampofo, is doctored and aimed at diverting attention. But his deputy, Kweku Boahen, confirmed to our sister station, Adom FM, the voice on the tape was that of the NDC chairman. According to him, he was at the meeting where Mr. Ofosu Ampofo made those comments.
The party accepts all what he said. Party members are happy about it. He met his party members. They are happy about his utterances. That is why they clapped at the point. It was a meeting of our communications team. We meet once every week. Bad people joined the meeting and recorded the discussion. Kennedy Japan made portions of the audio available last week. What you hear today is the rest of them. This will not discourage us from talking about the bad things happening in government.
It's a communication
meeting with myself, Sami Gyamfi, and Akugan as leaders. We meet all our communicators to strategize our security and communication. Honorable Ofosu Ampofo joined us to motivate us. That is why you heard people clapping. Because we are happy. If someone doesn't understand and want to bend the sea, they should go ahead.
That's the NDC's Deputy Communications Director, Kweku Boahen. Meanwhile, the governing NPP a while ago has condemned the comments by the NDC chairperson, Samuel Ofosu Ampofo, at a press conference that is currently underway. My colleague, Kwesi Parker Wilson, is there for us and joins us on the line. So, Parker, they've been condemning, asking Ofosu Ampofo to resign, asking former President John Mahama to reconsider his political philosophy of boot for boot. What else has come up at that press conference?
Well, for the NPP, they are very disappointed in the NDC. And in fact, what they are saying is that they would want, the NDC is actually targeting some individuals for assassination. And I've been asking whether or not they have indeed verified the claims that they are making, that indeed the audio is that of the voice of Samuel Ofosu Ampofo. And in fact, they have considered that that is the voice of Samuel Ofosu Ampofo, and that they are not taking the words of Sami Gyamfi being the Director of Communication for the NDC. We can listen to Yababina Sama, the Director of Communication, when he was addressing the press earlier.
To recall,
that they insisted on some apparently pointless arguments with the EC, including court cases about the date of the election and the authenticity of the voter register, right through to threatening to pull out of the election if their demands were not met. And it is always their demands. Their version of events is the only version. You heard on the tape Osam Pofo telling the world their version of events. If he had all this knowledge and intelligence, why did he not inform the security services and the police leadership, whom he assures us on the tape he was dealing with? They ended up escalating the Labawaleshe incident into a full-blown international situation. Non-existent deaths were alleged, and a deliberate picture of violence put out. The infamous boot for boot and superiority in the use of violent statements were made by the former president, now candidate of the NDC.
You heard that the NPP's Director of Communication, Yao Boabeng, is somewhat. Now, as you know, NDC Chairman Samuel Ofosu Ampofo has publicly committed to disbanding all pro-party militia groups whose job is to protect ballot boxes. Listen to him earlier this week when he spoke to my colleague Evans Mensah.
What happened in Kumasi could have happened to any of us. It could have been me. It could have been anybody. Yeah. So we need to collectively stand up against this, development. I believe that the time has come for us as a political class to say that this development is not good for the future of this country.
He's however heard in this viral tape announcing plans to set up a ballot policing unit.
Once we are focusing attention on the Akufo-Addo, and in fact, I think that this whole thing, we should not focus too much on the IGP. In fact, a police super called and said, as for them, they regard the IGP as a civilian because the man is still retired. and for them, the second thing also is that after this intelligence unit, the ballot protection unit, which we decided to set up, I think that this same committee will help us to see how to, put it up. And again, we are also going to look at how to provide security for our leading members and our leading communicators. That is also going to be looked at very closely.
This raises questions about his commitment to really disbanding party militias. Questions have also been raised about Ningo Prampram MP Sam George's comments when he was asked by members of the Emil Short Commission about party militias. Listen to him when he appeared on Monday.
For example, the Azoka boys bear the name of Mr. Sofo Azoka. And for me, I would not refer to a vigilante group because I would rather refer to them as a community-based organization. I have been in Tamale before, and in a community called Chogu, I witnessed the commissioning of a borehole project by the Azoka boys that had been done based on community engagement in that area. So for me, I would not call them a vigilante.
But this was his response to the same question when he appeared before the commission the next day.
Yesterday, you said some group was a community-based organization.
No, my lord. I've seen that reportage also. I said, I was asked about a group called the Azoka Boys and asked if they were a vigilante group, my lord. And I said that for me, I'm very careful about using the nomenclature vigilante group. And that the Azoka Boys, for example, and many of these groups are not affiliated to the political parties, but they patronage from individuals.
That's the Ningo Prampram MP Sam George at the Emil Short Commission on Monday and yesterday. But some bodybuilders in Nima have described as worrying the activities of well-built men who are engaged in political violence. They say they bear the brunt of the party militia groups as all bodybuilders are lumped together and tagged as violent. They are supporting Joy News' campaign, #disband party militias now. Maxwell Agbagba has been interacting with some of them in a gym at Nima.
Well, we're here at the Don Fuzi gym here at Nima. There's a lot of bodybuilding going on. A lot of the people here come here very in the morning to train. But we're bringing the conversation of party militias here.
55 years. Right, say so good. I say wogu. Yeah, macho funu fi. You see, I must say who macho maya. Now if you say, oh yeah, bad boy, and yeah bad.
Well, he says he is excited about the campaign to disband party militias because A lot of people, anytime they see bodybuilders, anytime they see people with big biceps, they think that they are violent. They think that, in his own words, they think they are bad boys, right?
Yes. And so,
well, he says that's not the case.
But, well, what can you say? Politicians, you know, or that dying. And so, not too many we are. No,
I would say it's not good. Because most of the times it makes other people see bodybuilders as, how they call it, troublemakers and that kind of thing. So I would say that the government should try its possible best. But as I now am speaking, the government have empowered some of them. She has recruited some of them into the services, which is the police, the national security, and other services. But I would say that the government should try, being his people that have started all these things, that it has come escalating the whole wide world talking about it. He has to disband those that he has within his party. I know when he does that, other parties will emulate his example.
You heard that Maxwell Abubakar interacting with some bodybuilders at a gym at Nima, and our campaign against party militias continue.
We want you to know that if you don't disband private criminal militia groups, we will not vote for you because we are scared.
The time has come for us as a political class to say that this development is not good for the future of this country.
The NPP has been guilty, the NDC has been guilty in terms of these groups. And so both the NDC and the NPP will have to find a way of engaging the base of our parties.
The NCC will continue to condemn, name and shame all political parties who endorse, support and or identify themselves with any of these groups until these groups are disbanded, word and in deed.
If voluntary disbandment by the parties is not feasible, then I will initiate legislation in the matter.
Joy News, God bless you. If you were not there, Nana Akufo-Addo today will not be making noise about how to disband vigilante groups. We salute you, Joy.
We know them, the individuals in party militias. We know those who fund them. Let's use this to put pressure on the politicians to disband party militias now.
They remain a major threat to our democracy as a nation. Hashtag disband party militias now.
You don't need macho men to be able to help you win elections. Hashtag disband party militias now.
Disband party militias now.
Join the campaign.
You do want to join the campaign with a hashtag disband party militias now. You're still listening to the Midday News here on Joy 99.7 FM. We'll take a quick break. When we return, we'll hear from a member of the Parliament's Mines and Energy Committee who is kicking against PURC's decision to maintain tariffs. Thanks for staying with us here on the Midday News on Joy 99.7 FM. Also live on myjoyonline.com affiliates across the country. Now, the decision by the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission to maintain tariffs this year has been met with opposition by some members of Parliament's Mines and Energy Committee. The PURC earlier today, in a statement signed by its Executive Secretary Maame Dufi-Ofori, announced the tariff will remain the same until the end of the second quarter of 2019, that is June 2019. It says the Commission's decision on tariff changes will be announced in due course, specifically July 1, 2019. But a member of Parliament's Mines and Energy Committee, Edward Bauer, is unhappy with the Commission's decision. He joins us on the line. Thank you very much for your time here on the Midday News, Mr. Bauer. So what really are your concerns? Why are you unhappy?
Thank you very much. First and foremost, let me state very clearly that as a Ghanaian, and knowing exactly how the the Ghanaians are facing some level of economic challenges, it will be a very good sign if, for example, utility tariffs are maintained or even reduced. But if you look at the current economic situation, particularly the management of government in terms of the economy, where you have a depreciation of the Ghana cedi, where you have other indices that inform tariff levels, What has then happened is that because of these particular challenges, the tariffs that we currently have are not cost reflective. So on the basis of that, I give an example. If you look at Greco had its tariff moved from, that's in 2017. It came from, as a 2018, sorry, it came from 5.0400 pesos to 4.2083 pesos per kilowatt hour. Now, because of this particular reduction of roughly about 17%, as we speak today, if you compare their losses in 2016 to 2017, you are having a situation where in 2016, when they were making a profit of about 69.13 million, today, in 2017, they made a loss of 31.10 million. And in 2018, they made a loss of 118.28 million. If you just take exchange rate losses, that's forex losses alone, as a result of the depreciation of the cedi, they have made a loss of 148 million Ghana.
So Mr. Bawa, we're really out of time, so I would want to find out specifically from you, what would you rather happens?
What we expect is that we should be sincere with Ghanaians and then tell Ghanaians that, look, as we sit now, because of the depreciation of the cedi and the increase in other costs, operational costs, we need to save our utilities by giving them a cost-reflective tariff. PURC's postponement or deferment of what they call it, the tariff review from March to June would cost these particular utilities not less than 700 million Ghana cedi, which will collapse them. And if they collapse them, we are going back to doing so.
Okay, we'll leave it here. I'm sure we'll go into this matter in our subsequent bulletins. Edward Bauer, there is a member of Parliament, Mines and Energy Committee. Now, do you feel restless and angry when you leave your phone at home, or do you feel you're spending too much time on your cell phone lately? Well, you may be showing signs and symptoms of cell phone addiction. This is a dependence syndrome seen among mobile phone users and has the potential to inflict permanent psychological or physical damage. Clinical psychologist and host of Ultimate Health on Joy FM, Norty Dua, has been explaining the problem.
If you're depressed in real life, you show it on social media. If you are anxious or suspicious, slightest thing in your group, so and so left. So you see, it actually magnifies, escalates your real problems. So you're online, you're using a swift gadget, a smart gadget, but it's actually amplifying if you hallucinate. There are people who tell you, this video is about me. This person sent me this inspirational message this morning. It's about me. Yeah. So you can actually see depression, anxiety, attention deficit disorder magnified and being manifest because of the ease of use of these things. Somebody can even become more paranoid just because of phone usage. And again, we shadow each other, don't we now? You're online, you haven't responded. You haven't done this, you've done this. So it makes life different.
You have a clinical psychologist, Norty Dua. Do join our subsequent bulletins for the solution or the best way out of this problem. But what's trending on social media, Maps?
Okay, the top two trends on Twitter. The first one is Sammy Gyamfi, and the second one is Ofosu Ampofo. And at Amponsa says, Sammy Gyamfi is clearly lying through his teeth and fabricating stories to cover up. And this one is from Ed Watting, who says, people like Sammy Gyamfi have become so predictable that even when they speak one truth out of billion lies, you begin to ask yourself whether it is indeed Sammy Gyamfi you're listening to.
And you're wondering why he's trending is because opposition NDC's front is divided over authenticity of leaked tape in which party chairman Samuel Ofosu-Ampofo is heard urging members to take on EC chairperson and announcing plans to set up a ballot policing unit. We have more in our subsequent bulletins. Do join us or log on to myjoyonline.com for more news. I am Meme Fapo. Thanks for your attention.